एक्सपोज के ऑफिशियल चैनल में खुश आमदीद। अगर आपने अभी तक हमारा चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें।
There are so many benefits by visiting the graveyard. One of that is a person will remember his death so that he will fear Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Thus he will be inclined towards more good deeds and will be refraining from committing sins. The other benefit, that while visiting the graveyard, as per the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who is resting in the grave, he becomes pleased. When a relative, when a son, when a child, when a brother visits the grave of his brother, when a son visits the grave of his father or mother, the ruh of that person becomes pleased. When this person visits, he will say, Assalamu alaikum ya ahlul qubur, as per the teachings of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam. Thus, conveying the salam, saying salam, direct conversation by these words, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, all those who are buried in the graveyard. So this gives us a thought that though a person has left this world, his body is dead, but still the ruh is alive, because there is no death for the ruh. There is no death for the ruh, because the ruh is by the command of Allah, and there is no death for the commands of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Thus when we say salam, Assalamu alaikum ya ahlul qubur, it reminds us that we are conversing with the dead person directly by using the word Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Allahu Akbar. Again, the teachings of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, to recite this dua, Nas'alullah lana wa lakumul afiyah. We ask for afiyah for ourselves and for yourselves. Allahu Akbar. Nas'alullah lana. We ask for the afiyah for ourselves, wa lakum, and for you, for whom? The people who are buried. We are conversing directly from the people who are buried in the grave. If they cannot hear anymore, why did Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam instructed us to make such a dua? Nas'alullah laka wa lakumul afiyah, kama qal, that we ask for the afiyah, we ask for the protection from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for ourselves and for you as well. Allahu Akbar. Another hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yaghfirullahu lana wa lakum, may Allah forgive us and forgive you. Again conversing directly, oh the people who are buried, may Allah forgive you and forgive us. If they cannot hear, what is the meaning of conversing in such a way? What is the meaning of saying salam to those people who are buried if they are dead and gone? Truly, they have tasted the death, but the ruh is always alive and the ruh is always connected to the body. That is why when the punishment is given to the body, the ruh feels it. And when the comfort is given to the body in the grave, the ruh feels it. If doesn't feel, what is the use of giving punishment? If doesn't feel, what is the use of giving comfort? May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala grant us the tawfiq to understand the reality of a person's death and of the status of a ruh of a believer. My dear brothers, we should visit the graveyard as there are many benefits. Again, as I mentioned, one of the benefit is we get the thought of death. The other benefit is we converse directly with the person who is buried and we say salam to them. We make dua for them and we make dua for ourselves as well. And another benefit is that they become pleased when a relative visits them. Another benefit that Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam stated, as recorded by Sayyidina Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti Shafi'i radiyallahu ta'ala anhu in his famous hadith kitab Al-Jami'u Saghir, that when a person passes by a graveyard and when he recites 11 times Suratul Ikhlas, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid, walam yulad, walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, Suratul Ikhlas 11 times, and if he conveys the reward of this 11 Suratul Ikhlas to all the people who are buried in the graveyard, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala will bless all those people who are buried with the reward of 11 Suratul Ikhlas. Allahu Akbar. Have we not read in the hadith that if a person recites Suratul Ikhlas thrice, Allah will bless him with the reward of one whole Holy Quran? So by reciting 11 times, almost the reward of 4 Holy Quran. So in light of the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who conveys the reward to all the people who are buried, let's say there are 10,000 people buried in a particular graveyard, so all those 10,000 people will get the reward of 4 Holy Quran, and the one who recites, he will get the reward accumulated, that is 10,000 for all the people, 40,000 rewards of the Holy Quran, and the one who recites, he will get the reward of him 4 Holy Quran and also 40,000 Holy Quran. So by reciting 11 times and conveying the reward for 10,000 people who are buried, he is getting the reward of 40,004 Holy Quran given by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Just imagine if there are people 100,000 buried in the graveyard, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala is so merciful that by the wasila of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he blesses all those people buried with such rewards, and the reciter gets the rewards accumulated. Subhanallah. So this is why the Mufassirin, the Muhaddisin has stated, as much as you convey the rewards, you will get the rewards accumulated. If you convey the reward to all the people, all the Muslims who have left this world, all will get the reward, and the person who recites also will get the reward accumulated. Subhanallah. So by reciting few verses of the Quran, if we can get benefits of such a reward, why to miss these opportunities? So in light of the hadith again, the benefit is we also get the reward, we are benefited, and the person who is buried, he is also benefited. Again, Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam stated, the one who often visits the grave of his father or mother or both of them, the one who often, regularly visits the grave of his parents, either both of them or one of them, subhanallah, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will make arrangements, such arrangements that angels will visit his grave after he leaves this world. So if we want angels to visit our graves, we should make it a practice to visit the graves of our parents regularly. Subhanallah. Another hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam in such words, that the one who visits the grave of his parents or grave of his father or mother every Fridays, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will record his name among those children who are obedient towards the parents and among the pious. Allahu Akbar. Another similar hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who visits the grave of his parents and recites Suratul Yasin, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will forgive his sins. Allahu Akbar. So there are so much of benefits by visiting the graveyard, especially visiting the grave of parents. Subhanallah. And my dear brothers, those people who are living away from the graves of their parents, for example, the grave of the parents are in India, he is living in Sri Lanka, so he is unable to go frequently. It doesn't mean that you are away. Still you can be at their service by reciting Fatiha on behalf of them, by giving charity on behalf of them, by performing Hajj on behalf of them, by performing Umrah on behalf of them. Because the one who does such, as per the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the one who performs Hajj on behalf of his parents, Allah Ta'ala will sanction the Hajj on behalf of his parents, and the child, the son who performs Hajj will get the reward of 10 maqbool Hajj. Allahu Akbar. By performing Hajj on behalf of our parents, their Hajj is accepted, and the reward for the son is given of 10 maqbool Hajj. And also the arwah, the ruh of the parents becomes pleased in the heavens by seeing that their children are performing Hajj on their behalf. And again, Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam stated in such words, when you give charity, you give charity on behalf of your parents. For example, if you spend 100 rupees or if you give a packet of meal to a needy, have this intention that, Ya Allah, I am giving this on behalf of my father, on behalf of my mother, on behalf of my so-and-so relative, on behalf of my so-and-so brothers and sisters. as per the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will get the reward, they also will get the reward. If you just contribute a charity by having the intention that let this poor person be happy with this 100 rupees or with this parcel of a meal, you will be given the reward. But if your intention is that, Ya Allah, I am giving this on behalf of my parents so that the reward goes to my parents, as per the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will get the reward, they also will get the reward. So by doing one act, you can multiple your rewards. How much Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala is merciful upon us by the wasila of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Even after so much of narrations, if we turn away from visiting the graveyards, if we turn away from conveying the rewards, if we turn away from remembering our parents and our relatives, how unfortunate we are, my dear brothers. Another hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam in such words, that when a person conveys rewards of sadaqah or dua of maghfirah, or by making a good deed, if he conveys the rewards, Sayyiduna Jibreel Amin alayhi salatu wasalam takes that reward in a tray of noor towards the deceased. When we convey the reward, when we send duas, when we ask dua for the forgiveness for our parents and our relatives, Sayyiduna Jibreel Amin alayhi salatu wasalam takes that reward in a tray of noor to the person who is buried, to whom we intended. And that person becomes so happy that he become that particular reward, what that particular gift which is given through Sayyiduna Jibreel Amin alayhi salatu wasalam, it becomes dearer to him than this world and everything of this world. He has nothing to do with this dunya now. So those rewards makes him so pleased that he becomes happy with that gift that becomes more dearer to him than the whole world and everything of this world. And the neighbor of that person who did not receive anything, he becomes sad. Therefore, we should not make our brothers sad. When we convey the reward, we should convey towards all the believers, and especially to our relatives, especially to our parents and grandparents. My dear brothers, make it a practice. Always pray to Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala for the forgiveness of your parents, for the forgiveness of your brothers, for the forgiveness of your grandparents who have left this world. This dua is proven from the Holy Quran. Sayyiduna Ibrahim ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salatu wassalam taught us this dua. Rabbana ghufirli wa li walidayya wa lil mu'minina yawma yaqumul hisab. That you pray in such words, Ya Allah, forgive us, forgive our parents, and forgive all the believers. Rabbana ghufir lana, Ya Allah, forgive us, wa li ikhwanina alladhina sabaquna bil iman, and forgive all those believers who left this world before us. This is also recorded in the Holy Quran. And as per the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, by asking dua of forgiveness for our parents, their daraja increases. One hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam before I end. A person who has already attained salvation, already got najat, but he see that day by day his daraja are being increased, his levels are being elevated day by day. That person asks, Ya Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, you have already granted salvation, you have already forgiven me, how come Ya Allah my daraja are being raised day by day? Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala replied that, oh my servant, I raise your daraja because your son is seeking forgiveness for you. So by the barakah of seeking forgiveness for one's parents, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala elevates their darajas even after they attain salvation. So if we can, by our duas, can try to elevate the status of our parents from the sight of Allah, on the sight of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, then we should always try to elevate their status by asking from Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And if we do not want that to happen, and a fortunate child will never think of that he doesn't want his parents' daraja to be elevated. Only those who are ignored, Only those who are away from the rahmats of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, they will have such thoughts, and those who are being blessed by the rahmats of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, they will definitely think of the betterment of their parents, of their relatives, and of their family members. Thus they will always seek forgiveness for them. So by seeking forgiveness, we also get the reward, and Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala forgives them. Allah ta'ala elevates their status. Once again, my dear brothers, especially my message to the youngsters, do make it a practice to visit the graveyard. It reminds you about the death. It makes you the comfort of your aqidah, that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala makes the person who are buried listen to our calls. They can listen. That is why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to call them as Assalamu alaikum ya ahlal qubur. If a person cannot listen anymore, what is the purpose of saying salam to them? What is the purpose of saying peace be upon you? And what is the purpose of saying nas'alullah lana wa lakumul afiyah, that we seek afiyah from Allah ta'ala for you and for ourselves? What is the purpose of this dua? Yaghfirullahu lana wa lakum, may Allah forgive us and forgive you. This is to show that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala has made them such that they are able to listen what we say, and they are able to talk as well, but we are unable to listen to their calls. Subhanallah. Those were the prophets of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala and pious servants of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, such as Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu an, Sayyidina Ali al-Murtada radiyallahu ta'ala an, and other pious servants of Allah who directly communicated with the person buried. Anyhow, this is again a different topic. We should not forget, we should not ignore visiting the graveyard. We should visit, and we always should remember our debts, so that we can be inclined towards more good deeds and to refrain from committing sins. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala grant all of us the death with iman. May Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala bless all of us with the shafaat of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, and may Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala grant us death with the vision of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam, and may Allah ta'ala raise all of us on the day of judgment under the shadow of Salihin. Wa akhiru da'wana